It's Let's Go with Muddy Gnomes.
Let's go!
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is episode 3 of Let's Go with Muddy Gnomes. I'm Chris Flockton. I'm here with the OMG original Muddy Gnome.
Let's go!
Arjan van der Schoot, and of course Staci Baker, the magnificent braided lady.
Thank you, Chris.
Have those
So
got
good.
longer?
They have. They're growing.
They're growing. It's good.
I'm so healthy.
You probably can't see from the framing of the camera, but they go all the way to the floor. We've got a great show for you today, jam-packed. We haven't talked to you in a month, so we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the latest happenings in cold immersion. I was thinking we should name this segment. It's got to be like Ice News or something.
The cold facts.
Oh, jeez.
Gold.
That's gold.
Or the cold facts.
I like cold facts.
The
That's
cold
awesome.
facts.
All the cold that's fit to print. Cold facts. All right, I'll make a sound effect.
Okay.
Arjan has read what he tells us is a wonderful book called Winter Swimming. And he is going to talk about that. We're going to show you how easy it is to set up one of our portable Muddy Gnomes ice baths. Very exciting. Hey, we have our very first live in-studio guest. Denise Bouchard will join us to tell us about how a random interaction with some crazy Dutch guy has changed her life. And then we're going to wrap it up with Staci talking to us about retreats and the concept of consciously disconnecting and then reconnecting to the world. Did I phrase that? Perfect. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, so let's jump into this. What's happened since last we spoke? You've had a bunch of people over to
I've
Arjan.
had a bunch of people over. It was
Have you taken the your crazy chariot? Anyone the
no
mobile unit?
No, the mobile ice bath trailer is snowed in at the moment.
Oh.
So that's not going anywhere just yet. But we had people come over. We had, for instance, a week after that, we had Axel Shearer over, John's dad.
Yeah.
And he said, I had breakfast with him, he said that he was not going to go in. He said John, his son, had told him that I was probably going to convince him to go in. But he said, no, it's not happening. So I told him, I said, all right, that's fine, but how about we shake hands on you going in February? He goes, I don't know, that's probably not going to happen either. And we did some other stuff, and then a little bit later I said, well, how about we do this? I go in, you can see how it goes, and then you decide what you want to do or when you want to do it. He goes, well, if you're going to go in, then I'm going to go in too. So he went in, and he did great.
Wow.
He was calm. He breathed through it. He stayed in like 3 minutes, and he is 6'7",
Yeah,
6
he's
foot
a
6.
tall dude.
Yeah.
He's amazing. And he fit in our mobile ice bath perfectly, and he was very surprised at how well he did, and that he could do it.
Right.
So it's really interesting to see that people that try it go like, oh, I can do anything now.
Right.
So that was really
And
that
that's
was
what
really
he's doing
great.
too, right? He's catching on. It's contagious to want to feel good.
Yeah.
Right. So when you
Exactly.
see somebody else doing something and you go, I'd really like to have that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to feel that too.
Exactly.
And not only are you intellectually thinking about, oh, he looks like he's feeling great. I want to feel great.
Yeah.
Your body is picking up all of the endorphins and all of the pheromones that are flying off of people.
Ew.
They are.
You.
And you catch them and you want more.
Yeah, that's right. The good cooties.
The good cooties.
That's right. Maybe it was recording. I don't know.
You are ridiculous today. Chris, take a deep breath.
Okay, this is not doing anything.
I was really still in bed when you sent that, because I get up early, and then when they leave,
Oh, you go back?
I go back to bed usually, and not always to sleep, but I fell asleep, and then I woke
What
up
else,
and it's like
what
my
else
phone's
do you-
going.
So can I just tell you that there is a lot of science, and we can even talk about this at a later time, but there is a lot of science behind hitting that snooze button
Yeah.
and how it triggers your body into going, if you fall back to sleep and then you disrupt that sleep pattern,
Yeah.
it's harder for you to wake up and get clear and get conscious again. The
Yeah.
snooze button is the kiss of death.
Wow.
Do not
Once
hit the
you're
snooze button.
once you're up, you got to be up.
That's right.
There's no going back to bed.
If you do, then you need to sleep for 3 hours.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
fine.
I didn't know it was going to be that simple.
That's fine.
Problem solved. No, Amy, Staci said I had to sleep for
Yeah.
another 3
Sorry.
hours.
Sorry, you gotta sleep.
Yeah.
All right, so we had Axel,
Yeah.
and then I think it was last week on a Sunday morning, 5 women came over,
What?
and they all
And I wasn't invited, 5
and they
women?
all hopped in. It was amazing.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time, but they all. There were some that it was their first ice bath. Some others had done some more, but it was amazing. We had a fire going, and afterwards, it's the whole social aspect,
Exactly.
right? Afterwards, everybody was talking about it.
Where are all
and
these women coming from?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
they're coming. These women came from the neighborhood,
Okay.
from around, not too far away, and yeah.
Not too far away in South Woodstock.
This sounds a little.
Exactly.
There's something.
Yeah.
This sounds a little shady here. Just women
don't
from the
know.
neighborhood.
Tinder, which way we swiping? Okay.
Cold plunge Tinder.
But they did great, and it was interesting because it seems that overall women tend to do better in the ice bath than men.
Doesn't surprise me.
And
Do
women,
you know why?
yeah, because they're the stronger sex.
We are stronger,
Yeah,
and because
exactly.
we have to endure pain and just
Yeah.
push through
Yeah,
it
exactly.
all the time.
Exactly, and labor and everything. It's
Yes.
all exactly. Yeah. So, but it really shows because, I had invited a bunch of guys as well. That they all had excuses. They didn't show up. Only the
Shocker.
women showed up, and they're really the stronger sex. You can
Yes.
see that clearly in the whole ice bathing.
Is this on
community.
on Instagram?
Yes.
Your little
Yeah.
your ice bath.
Yeah. They were all
harem?
on there, and I just posted today. I just posted sort of
Should
like a
not say that.
compilation.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I do not. I'm not. I take it back. I'll edit that out. I totally
You
won't.
won't.
But
Totally won't.
That's going to be in the highlights.
but I
can tell.
apologize for it.
So it was a pretty busy ice bathing past month.
That's great.
Not
for you.
And in the winter time when we don't take the truck out,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen as often.
Right.
But still,
Cool.
people want to feel good.
People do want to feel good.
Yes.
They do.
I want to feel good.
Well, you know what to do.
I know.
Chris, when was the last time you had a nice bath or
Shower.
cold
A
shower?
few days ago,
Oh, good for
or
you.
last week,
Okay.
Yeah.
In the morning
or the week before.
Yeah, or the week,
or the week sometime.
or maybe that.
I tend to shower in the evening.
Right.
So I've got to. I know.
Because it kickstarts
Yeah.
your day, and you say, they get up and I go back to bed. So instead of going back to bed,
There's way too much personal information being shared here.
Well,
Really?
that's what we're all about.
yeah.
Get personal.
If you just, instead of going back to bed, take a shower, turn it to cold, and you'll be ready to face today. If you go back to bed, you're doing the exact opposite.
But bed is so warm, and there are kitties.
Yeah.
That's right, but still. Again, if you want to feel good, it's fine. If you want to feel like you're dragging through the entire day, then keep doing what you're doing. If you want to feel spectacular,
Wow.
If you want to keep feeling like shit, Chris, just keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for that uplifting pep talk, Dutchie.
I'm just saying, it's entirely up to you.
Yeah.
Cold fact.
I have a cold fact that I
Okay.
forgot.
Oh,
All
yes.
right.
And this is thanks to my goodly wife Amy, who sent me this. This is from the Pittsfield Sun, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, June 5th, 1872. It's an article called "Peculiar People," and it's a whole list of peculiar people.
Right.
I read you a few of them. People who always know where the wind is. Okay. People who send conscience money to the Secretary of the Treasury. People,
Conscience?
yeah, I
Okay.
guess I
Okay.
think we call it taxes.
Yeah.
People who take long walks before breakfast. People who lavish their money on the heathen abroad and leave the heathens at home to take care of themselves. And people who have the ice broken to enable them to take a cold bath in winter.
Look at that.
Wow.
Peculiar
Look at
people.
that. 18 what?
1872.
Yeah. There you go. There you have it.
Great.
MuddyGnomes.com is now live in a totally new incarnation. It has moved on from being essentially a placeholder to being a living, breathing, interactive destination for all sorts of resources up there and great links and ability to buy merch. And so some little gnome has been very busy working on that website.
Yeah,
Yes.
great job, Staci.
Thank you.
Great job. It really looks
Yeah,
fantastic.
it really does look
the
great.
podcast you can listen to there and all the other. It's amazing.
Not
It's
enough
really
pictures
great.
of me, but
We'll get there.
No, there
Yeah.
is.
Hmm?
There's that high shot from the.
That's a good shot.
yeah, that's a good
Okay,
shot.
so you're barely there, but
All right, let's wrap up. What's it called? Cold news? No.
Cold facts.
Cold facts.
Yes,
cold
With
facts.
what I think is potentially the most exciting item we have is that Arjan's monster truck is currently in the garage in Rutland being wrapped in a Muddy Gnomes treatment. This is, honest to God, I've seen the graphics, and this is about the most ridiculous thing you're ever going to see driving down the streets.
We're not going to tell you what it looks like,
we're
but
not?
be assured. No, we're not. But be assured, once you see it,
Oh, if
you're
you
not
see it-
gonna you're not gonna miss
if
it.
you see it, you'll know
That's
you're
right.
seeing it.
That's right.
So what we're going to do is, when do you get it? Thursday?
Yeah, next Thursday.
So it'll be on the road Thursday, the
15th?
14th, 15th of February.
15th.
And if you are in the Upper Valley, Vermont, New Hampshire, and you see the truck, you'll know it when you see it. Take a picture and post it on Instagram and tag us at Muddy Gnomes, and you'll be entered in a competition to win one of our brand new Muddy Gnomes hoodies.
Yeah,
which
that's going to be
are,
exciting
Yeah, that's
too.
which are
great.
coming out.
Yeah.
So if you see it, take a picture. You're not going to be able to get away with anything.
I know.
oh no, well
No.
you never can anyway.
Anyway, but
But
yeah,
it-
it's great.
I just have to have a little disclaimer.
Yeah,
The cleavage is enhanced.
the cleavage is enhanced.
Well, they're fictional people. They're fictional gnomes.
Are they? Yeah. Are they though? Okay.
In
They are.
a world,
Any resemblance to actual
People.
What is
Is
that
un-
disclaimer
is
again?
unintentional.
Yes,
Purely
unintentional
coincidental.
and, yeah.
but in a world where there are gnomes, you want them to have a nice rack.
Well, you do. You always do. It's just a little enhanced.
It's going to be good. You're going to see it. You're going to know that's Muddy Gnomes.
All right. Well, that's it for Cold Facts.
Cold facts.
Cold Facts.
These are the cold facts.
All right, Arjan, over to you. Tell us about Winter Swimming by Susanna Soberg. Is that her name?
That's correct. Susanna Soberg. She's a Danish scientist, researcher,
Yeah.
and she has literally dived into the cold exposure and the winter swimming. So the book is really great because it combines a lot of the scientific biological facts of why cold exposure, ice swimming or winter swimming or taking an ice bath or a cold shower or even just turning the temperature down in your bedroom,
Oh yeah.
why that is also good for you. And it combines it with the more practical aspect of going into the water for the first time. And they have a lot of clubs in Denmark and Finland and Norway where you can go winter swimming. So you go in the water and then you can go inside the club and go in the sauna and stuff like that. So and some of these clubs have wait lists for years.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It's
I love
very
that.
interesting. So your skin has a lot of cold receptors, and it actually has more cold receptors than heat receptors. That is why
Oh.
you're so much more sensitive to cold
Ooh,
than
that's
to heat.
interesting.
Yeah. It's like 5 times more cold receptors
Huh.
than heat receptors. So what happens is you get into cold water, your skin feels the cold, sends a message to your brain, like, hey, it's cold, we're going to die, we need to do something. Your brain then creates noradrenaline, which it sends to the brown fat that you have, brown fat as opposed to the white fat. The white fat is the fat the white fat is energy storage, right? So if we eat more calories than we use, we store that energy in our white fat to be used at a later date. We're so comfortable nowadays that we don't really use it, right? We either do too less, or so that's where the excess white fat comes from. The brown fat, on the other hand, creates energy. So the brain sends a signal to the brown fat, activate, that gets activated, and then the brown fat creates energy and heat by using the fat and the sugar in the bloodstream.
Which is much more effective. So you want to get rid of the brown fat.
No, you want to keep.
You want to keep the brown fat.
Or increase even the brown fat.
Increase the brown fat.
Get rid of the white fat.
So that's what the brown fat does, right? It needs fats and sugar. So if there's not enough, it'll take that from the white fat. And what it'll even do, it can turn some of the white fat into what they call beige fat. So it's more. So it starts to be able to produce energy.
There's always the time when we get together and have these conversations where I think Arjan is just totally making shit up, and then it turns out that he's not.
Absolutely
he's not.
right.
Yeah,
it's infuriating.
Exactly. It is
infuriating.
I even have a. Let me give you another little here. Can we do this in here?
Sure.
Look.
White fat, brown fat.
White fat, brown fat. So this is a...
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.
So this is a white fat cell, right?
Right.
It has a lot of fat here.
Yeah.
And it has, what is it called? A nucleus right there.
Nucleus, yes.
And some mitochondria here. And the mitochondria is what create the energy. But here, they don't have space for it. So a brown fat cell has a couple of the fat cells, but a lot of mitochondria around it, and a nuclei. And this way, it can create a lot of energy. So that's the difference between the brown fat and the white fat.
And this is also the time in the podcast that I remind people that we are not doctors.
We are not. We are just repeating what
we're
Dr. Susanna Soberg says.
Yeah, Susanna Soberg, who is a doctor.
Yes.
Who knows stuff.
She
knows
does.
stuff.
She's kind of like a legend in the cold plunging community.
Do we know what she's a doctor of? Is she a medical doctor, or is she a...
She's a doctor of cold plunging.
She's a doctor of cold. She does researching metabolism and... hang on, what does it say? She's conducting clinical studies on cold immersion and what it does to fat consumption and such.
Well, I have plenty, and I'm willing to share if she needs.
That's
Seriously,
wonderful.
if she needs any white fat, I can send her.
You can
I can
send
send her
some.
some.
Okay.
The white,
Or
the
you can just take an
brown,
ice bath.
So,
beige.
are you recommending this book?
This book is it's really a good book. If you want to know the ins and outs of why we do what we do, of what it really does in your body, then read this book. And it's also really nice because it talks about the social aspect of the cold plunging. Once you read it, it's really again shows you how incredible the cold exposure is and what it can prevent / most likely cure. You know, with the taking up of the blood and the fat from the bloodstream, the fat and the sugar from the bloodstream.
Yeah.
You know, blood glucose, right? Type 2 diabetes. It can prevent it and help it if you do have it.
Not a doctor.
Not a doctor.
Not
We're
a doctor,
doctors,
but
we're not doctors.
that's
But
what it
there's-
says here in Winter Swimming by Dr. Susanna Soberg,
So
who
she
is a doctor. So you've got the cold, right, and all the amazing benefits that it does.
Right.
But you look at the northern European countries, right, and Finland, for instance, what are they known for besides cold?
Being having a big long border with Russia.
Yeah.
They're very tall.
they have saunas.
Oh, they have saunas. I love saunas.
Right? So everybody loves saunas. So in the book, it also talks about saunas and alternating heat and cold, which is very interesting because we are now also in the works designing our Muddy Gnomes portable ice bath
This is
trailer.
top secret.
Top secret. Don't tell
Don't,
anybody.
don't worry, no
Don't
one's
tell
going to listen to
anybody.
this.
All tens of them.
Our Muddy Gnomes portable ice bath trailer 2.0,
Right.
and we are designing a sauna in that as well.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Right.
Can you believe it?
Now you've got me.
I know.
Right? Because as
Really?
Stacy later
Yes.
will say, yes. You know, and if we're going to do retreats,
Right.
scratch that, when we're going to do retreats,
Thank you.
it'll be great to be offering the cold and the heat at the same time.
Arjan, how many people will fit in that sauna?
I think about 8 people.
What?
Oh, yes. Can you
A
believe
mobile
Yeah.
sauna that
Yes.
fits 8 people?
Yeah.
Yes. It's happening.
And an ice bath.
Well, I guess if Mike can build a mobile pizza oven, he can build a...
Mike can
Mike
build anything.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
That's very
I know.
exciting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's a good
Okay,
book,
good,
though.
good
It-
job.
Winter swimming, I can
actually, that
highly
was really
recommend
good.
it. We're going to
Yeah.
put it on our website as well.
Yes, we are.
And it's a great read. It's really wonderful. All right, so we got Denise Bouchard from the barber shop here in White River Junction. And when I went to get a haircut, when is it? 3 weeks ago now, maybe?
It
4
was
weeks
just
ago?
before the new year.
Just before the New Year, that's right.
Yeah.
And you guys were, we got to talking about the ice bath pretty quickly. And the next day, you guys tried it.
We tried it. Yes.
Both of you, you and Sandy.
Yep. It was amazing. It's really hard to explain the feeling after, but I now own my own ice bath.
Wow.
I am in
super.
it every day. It's on my deck right now. So
It's
I'm also
cold.
making ice for the summer.
Oh, you are?
I'm prepping.
That's great.
Yeah, it's made me feel great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what was it like the first time?
It was okay once I was talked off the ledge a little bit.
Right.
From hyperventilating a little
Yeah.
bit, but
Right.
once I got that in control, my breathing, it was okay.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did great.
yeah, it was great.
And Sandy as well. She did amazing. And it was
Yeah.
so great that we talked the day before and the next day both of you just said, fuck it, we're just going to do it.
Why not?
That's right.
Right? And now I'm like, I could do it twice a day.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. I have arthritis in my knees. I've been going for injections every 3 months. I canceled my appointment Monday.
Really?
That's
Yep.
incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They feel so much better. The inflammation is gone.
Wow.
Yep. I feel like I have some slight weight loss as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be in line with the expectations.
Yeah. My husband even says I'm in a better mood now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
I
amazing.
come out of the tub. He's watching me from the deck, shaking
Yeah.
his head, going, "Oh my God, again!" And I come in and I'm like, "Woo! I feel great."
Right?
Well, he better
Yeah.
get in it so he can keep up.
He will not. I can't convince him.
He will eventually.
Yeah,
If he sees you doing it, he will eventually.
It's
Yeah.
contagious.
Yeah.
it is. Do you do it?
Every day.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a cold shower person.
Yep.
Primarily.
Yeah.
So I've tried the polar plunge and
Yeah.
the bathtub and the shower, and I'm really not on board with those.
Yeah.
But the tub, I can just get right in and
Yeah.
get my 3.5, 4 minutes, and
Ooh,
I'm
good for
good for
you.
the day.
That's amazing. And you do it every single day.
Every day.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yep.
That is really, but that is so great, right? It's all from a random encounter at the haircut.
Yeah.
Kind of
Right?
sounds like the beginning of a joke. A Dutchman walks into a barber
Yeah,
shop.
exactly. In White River Junction, no less.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah, no, it's been.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's
I just
amazing.
love it.
And is Sandy doing it too?
Sandy has just started. She did get her own tub, and she's
Okay.
been struggling to get in. But she messaged me yesterday. She goes, "I did it 3 minutes."
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
Right, so
I
she
gave
started.
her, your pointers on breathing. And
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And now she can find
Yeah.
that on the website.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. MightyGnomes.com, everybody.
Yep.
And there's a walkthrough that Ariane leads. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I send it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
She saw
It's
it.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to really help people because you tend to panic
Yeah.
right, in the cold. And a lot of people also say they don't even know that they're, for instance, holding their breath.
Exactly. I didn't the first time.
Right.
You're like, breathe. And I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not, wait a
Right?
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That is so fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
really-
thank you for introducing me to
Yeah.
this. It's been great.
Spread the word.
Oh, God, I feel it's about to happen, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
You're about to do it?
Yeah.
Is it happening?
I think it's going to happen.
All right.
You're
it's
gonna,
gonna
you're gonna.
happen.
Same with Denise.
I'm
It's gonna-
inspired by Denise.
Yeah.
It's gonna change your
Yes.
life. I say a lot of times when people go for the first time, I said, today is the first day of your new life.
Yeah.
And it seems like an exaggeration, but oftentimes it's not.
In the case of Denise, it seems 100%
Yeah.
accurate.
Every day she goes. I don't even go every day. And now today she was asking me, "Is it okay if I go twice a day?" I'm going, "Yeah, if you don't, don't go too long. Don't sit a half an hour or something." But she goes like 3-4 minutes.
That's
I
great.
said, "Yeah, you can go twice." It's really kind of mind blowing,
Yeah, it's great. And what an inspiration.
right?
Yeah.
Bouchard's barbershop in
Oh,
White
yeah.
River Junction. It's a great place if you want to get a great haircut. Look, they even trim beards really well in gnome style nowadays.
Ooh.
And so you can get your hair cut professionally, and you can talk about cold immersion. So it's a double whammy there. Magnificent portable Muddy Gnomes ice bath. We're going to demonstrate setting it up. Look at this, look at this, look at this. The Muddy Gnomes ice bath.
Nice.
This is beautiful, I have to say. This is like a little pillow, I think, and these are the two tops. Really simple. You put these guys in here. One, two.
A few moments later.
Look at that.
is set
Oh,
up.
that is a great size.
There's a little drain here that you have to plug before
Right.
you fill it with water, right? And then there is a,
Right.
and then it comes with a hose to empty it and
Oh, yeah.
a valve. So when you fill it, and then afterwards, if you want to empty it, you put this on there.
Because sometimes you want to empty it away from where
Yeah.
it's
Right.
sitting.
I got you. That's a fun noise.
Oh, that's a nice motion too. You're really good at that, Arjan.
54 years, done it a few times now. There's a lot of these on the market, but we have chosen for a size bigger
Yeah.
because,
Bigger's better.
bigger is better. As you can see, it's easy to get in.
Right.
And what you do is you get in and you just sit down.
Look how great that is.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
If you want to go a little deeper, you scoot your butt a little forward and
Right.
you can go a little deeper. Because we always ask people to put their shoulders underwater because there's a nerve.
Yes.
There's nerves here that are important to get cold. The vagus nerve in
Yep. particular.
Muddy Gnomes portable ice bath. MuddyGnomes.com, or you can click the store link on our Instagram at Muddy Gnomes. Let's
Perfect.
go!
Yeah.
So our final segment today,
Oh, yes.
Staci Baker is going to unfurl her curls and talk to us about connecting and disconnecting.
So,
Yes.
as you guys know,
Yes.
I will be turning 60 years old soon.
What?
60. I never expected
That's
to
crazy.
live this long.
That is
ever
really
in
crazy.
a million years. So here I am,
Yeah.
and although most of the time I feel like a birthday is, to me, just another day, right? I mean, I celebrate every single day.
Right.
My birthday is every single day. But for some reason, this one is feeling a little bit different to me. Like I'm really...
In what way?
Well, I'm feeling like, not that I need to reinvent myself, but it's like, number one, a celebration of making it this far, which
Right.
I honestly never thought I would.
Right.
And so being able to reach a milestone like this and be surrounded by people that I love.
And look at you how you've reached this milestone.
Yeah, you look great.
You know,
look
it's
fantastic.
it's not just that you've reached it like it's your prime, which it is.
And that's how I feel.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel wonderful. I love the people that I'm around. I love my home. I love my family. I
Yeah,
love,
that's great.
It's like I really, really, it feels like a time to take stock, right?
Yeah.
And just be very grateful for what has brought me to this point, because honestly, not all of it has been pleasant,
Right.
right?
That's the only way to grow.
Exactly. So through that, and so here I am. So I was thinking about, Blake and I were talking, like, how are you going to sell, what do you want to do? You want to have a party? You want to do this? And,
Right.
so I was like, I don't know. And I was kind of not feeling like I want a lot of attention per se. I feel like I need to be more introspective. So that made me think, I get so distracted by everything, like just anything that's coming into the world.
Right.
I'm excited about it. I'm saying yes to it. And by saying yes, which I love to do, but you do end up filling up a lot of your time
Yeah.
with maybe things that aren't necessarily fulfilling your life.
Right.
Is this really the direction? So my thought was, I want to disconnect. I want to get away from technology. I want to not have the influences of media in any way.
Yep.
I want to reconnect with nature. So I started thinking this. So once I got on that, I thought, this is how I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate disconnecting and then reconnecting to the things that I consciously choose.
Right.
Right? So still saying yes and still being a part of that whole thing, but also being very conscious of what I'm choosing.
Saying yes to what serves you.
Exactly. And what, and make sure that my priorities are in line for this
Right.
next, portion of my life.
Right.
Because, honestly, TikTok, it's happening.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's more important to take stock now than ever before.
Yep.
Be grateful for what brought me to this point, and then make very good conscious decisions going forward.
Yep.
So one of the ways, and Arjan and I kind of touched on it, I think that this is going to be our Valentine's Day gift to one another,
Yep.
because I love you so much.
I think that's great.
Is
I think
that
that's wonderful.
I think I want to try a deprivation situation. I want to go into a deprivation tank
Yeah.
to start, that
Wow.
level of disconnect. Take all my senses and turn them off, right? And then emerge from that.
Yeah.
And then I think I want to do even a bigger disconnect.
I hear those things are spectacular once you try them. I've never tried one, so I would love to do that. That would be wonderful.
So I think we should, although I'm trying to disconnect, I want to do it with you.
Yeah, I want to connect disconnecting.
So
Yes.
but that's part of the thing, right?
Right.
So then if you go into the deprivation, right? So all your senses, are you familiar with this, Chris?
Yeah, it's like a tanker. You float. And
Exactly. So they fill it up with like
Yeah.
1,200 pounds of Epsom salt. So
Right.
it kind of, then you're able to float, and it's dark and there's no sound, and apparently you can hear your blood rushing around.
Yeah, so there's supposed to be no sound, no sight, no touch. So
Right.
it's all your senses
Whoa.
are shut down.
Right, exactly. So but then the enlightenment comes, right, when you are re-emerging.
Right.
And so now and I can't think of a better
Yeah,
thing
that'd
to
be
do.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then then that kind of just got me thinking a little bit more too about, I can't be the only one that feels this. I think pandemic really changed the way that we are interacting with each other.
Right.
I think that we need to be very conscious about how we are re-engaging and reconnecting with the things that we want and the
Yep.
things that we truly value, because we were deprived during that time.
Right.
Maybe unconsciously in some way too. So that's the other part, and it just made me think. And I was talking to Arjan, like, maybe what we need to do is get a group of people that we would like to connect with, right?
Yep,
And maybe we all
exactly.
disconnect together, and then maybe we reconnect together, and then we go forward. So Arjan and I were talking about potentially doing, some sort, like doing retreats of some sort, embracing the cold, embracing the connect and the disconnect.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I think that'd be a really great thing to do for the Mighty Gnomes, and I think a lot of people would like that.
Yeah. So what do you think, Chris? I mean, like, this is...
Well, I think that we are, like you said, utterly inundated 24/7 by so many things, and not all of them are good
Right.
or positive.
Yeah.
So the idea of going out in the woods away from electricity and the
Yeah.
internet and noise
Right.
and all the hubbub of our daily lives
Yeah.
sounds fantastic
Yeah.
to me.
And it's also a little difficult.
Hmm.
You know, we probably don't even, unless you're consciously thinking about how much we are connected to our devices.
Yeah.
I literally have 3 devices that are mine right here in front of me right now.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it gives me comfort, right?
Yeah.
There's a comfort that
Oh, and
comes
you
along.
know that your kids can reach you and blah, blah,
Yes.
blah. It's the whole...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so disconnecting is not easy. You know, we become very dependent, almost like what we were speaking about earlier about our comfort, right? This gives us comfort to have at our fingertips information, call anybody, text anybody, do whatever. But it's also, I think, acting as a substitute for real connection.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing right now, sitting here a couple of feet away from each other, looking at each other's eyes, that is a true connection.
It is.
It is.
Right?
We were busy staring
mean,
into each other's
yeah,
eyes here.
I was lost in Arjan's
Days.
pools.
Beard.
I was lost in his beard.
There's something in that beard. So anyway, so that's where my head's at.
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really, really good sentiment. And I think it's a sentiment that that really reverberates with everybody because, you know, as much as everybody is connected to their devices, everybody feels that it's too much.
Yeah.
And yet we still do it.
And yet we still do it. So
Right.
so to have a retreat where purposefully that's put aside, where you cannot do it, otherwise you're never
Yeah.
going to do it. You're not going to do it at home. It's not happening.
Yeah, and
So I
I,
think
have
that's
to
really
set
great.
up a milestone, you know, 2 months from now or 3 months from now, whatever it is, in order to just prepare my head for the thought of this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
Right.
So, you know, so that it's not like I'm
Yeah.
just going to go, oh, I'm not going to use my phone today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, I spend so much time, I mean, sometimes almost all day, sat in front of a computer or a microphone or
Right.
my phone or
Yeah.
something. And I have lately been forcing myself to replace some of that with reading. Do you remember books?
oh,
You remember,
those things?
Yeah, those paper things.
Oh, that?
Yeah. Anyway, so I've
Ah.
just been,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So even those little steps
Yeah.
of being conscious about
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm
It's all
literally-
baby steps.
Right,
Everything.
right.
Otherwise, it's not going to accomplish anything.
but
So, and then go ahead.
it's all. I'm sorry. It's also what I found is, and what really distressed me was that we have retrained our brains, and we do not have. I do not have, and I suspect I'm not alone. I do not have the capacity for like long form stuff anymore. Everything is little bites of
Right.
information,
Yes.
little bite here,
Attention
little bite there.
span
little-
is getting really
yes,
short.
it's attention span.
Yeah.
And so when I started like reading a lot again, you feel like you're retraining, you're rewiring
are.
Yeah.
your brain to
You
be
are.
able to
You are.
focus on something
Yeah.
that's not just
Yeah.
a headline
Yeah.
or a tweet or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right, right.
And add to that, going outside into nature,
Yes.
Right.
just for a walk or something, because they also say, you know, you need the outside and the sunlight, and so if you add to that, and it's all little things, right?
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to go on a 6-hour hike, but just go for a 10-minute walk.
Right.
But anyway, it's baby steps. It's all in little bits. The same with the media. With the if you want to train yourself, if you want to change your habits, the only way to get there in the long term is to start with little steps.
All right, guys. Good chat.
Thank you.
Good chat. I enjoy the connection
Yes.
Me too.
with the
I
two
love
of you.
doing this. This
Yeah.
is just wonderful because we're
good.
just sitting,
Shooting the
talking,
shit.
shooting the shit, bullshitting.
That's right.
And here we are.
And
And here we are.
It's great.
No, it really is. Being with my best friends,
Yep.
doing something.
Same
that-
here.
It's just great.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
I love you guys. It's amazing. This is so cool.
Kumbaya, my lord. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us for episode 3. Don't forget to check out the newly revamped muddyknomes.com. Staci Baker, Arjan van der Schoot. And find us on Instagram at Muddy Gnomes. You can get the podcast on Apple or Spotify. And
YouTube.
Watch it on YouTube.
Watch it on YouTube. because we are three very attractive individuals.
Oh,
Couldn't be better.
And why would you not want to watch us?
exactly.
All right. So we will see you next time for episode 4. Peace.
Let's go.